I want people to see the human side too. I want them to understand this isn't statistics. This isn't, just empty brick and mortar houses. These are people's lives. These are people who have spent their entire lives doing the right thing, working, towards building their future. And frankly, the middle class was vested in their homes. It was our largest industry. Most people bought, the most house they could afford, because that was going to pay for their children's education. That was going to pay for their retirement, and they got the rug pulled out from under them, and I don't think that story is being told. I think we hear a lot about the deadbeat homeowner as if they chose this. Most of these folks, I'm not saying all of them, but most of the people that signed on the dotted line for those loans had no anticipation of what was coming up. Now, obviously, everybody takes on risk whenever they sign any contract, but they were basing their decisions on the best information they had at the time. And most of these people at the time figured, well, maybe I'm buying a little more house than I should, but I'm going to get a raise. I work hard. Maybe my wife's going to get more income, or if we actually hit some sort of a snag, job loss, health emergency, car accident, anything that might impact our income, well, you can't lose in housing, so we'll just sell our house or access our equity, or something like that. But they had no idea what was going on with the market, and that on the backside there was some dynamics taking place that were going to put them in the position where they would be underwater. And underwater means that you owe more on your house than your house is worth. They had no idea that was going to happen. And I think that this sort of information is sort of out there, but I don't think people are really seeing the human side of it. I mean, we've had movies like The Inside Job. We've had movies, The Big Short. Michael Lewis talks a lot about the secondary market, and, how we the banks sort of over leveraged our entire economy. 40% of middle class wealth has been taken via mortgage-backed securities. Warren Buffett said the mortgage-backed security was a weapon of mass destruction. And pretty much, we see a lot of these other situations like the, transportation, the mental health issues that we have, not being able to deliver services because of lack of funding, the housing problem, education. Well, when you take 40% of middle class wealth, the effects, sort of reverberate throughout the economy. State revenues, it's affected state revenues. Multnomah County, about 6 months ago, there was a decision. Multnomah County had sued MERS, Mortgage Electronic Registration System, because Mortgage Electronic Registration System was a database system to sort of circumvent our title recordation process. We had a title recordation process system, I should say, that for over 200 years, anytime a property changed hands, it was recorded at the county, and there was a recording fee. Well, the banks sort of circumvented that whole system, which in this day and age with technology might have made sense, but they did it outside of the legislature, sort of outside the law. And so anyway, Multnomah County said, hey, you didn't pay those recording fees. And I believe the judgment was for $7 million, and that was one county. Imagine all the counties in Washington State, how much money might be on the table there. So my point is that the effects and the consequences of this whole situation are very, very broad. And I've been trying to talk about this for many years. I first testified in Olympia in 2011. There are some things that we could do, recommendations we have for the Deed of Trust Act, which governs non-judicial foreclosure in our state. There's some things that we could do to really restore some justice for homeowners. And I think that's time that we did it. And I think it's time that Washington had a voice on this issue. And that's why I'm running for office. And then, the other side of it is I'd like to raise some money and help some of these folks in my community. And so that's what I'm doing.